Hi, my name is Aparna Vishwanatham. My team and I at Do Science Library Solutions work in the area of non-formal education. We run a science center called Do Science in Hyderabad. We design, build, and set up science installations and kinetic build sculptures in public spaces. And we've also created this product called the Storybox. Why storybooks? Reading is very important for all of us. Reading opens up the world to us, it sparks our creativity and imagination. Reading essentially helps us understand the world that we live in. Also, quite importantly, research shows that people who read more do better in school. They go on to do well professionally and financially as well later in life. However, many of us are not reading as much as we should or as much as we would like to. In fact, many of us barely read for pleasure these days. This is also particularly true for students. People are reading lesser these days because of a variety of reasons. Some of them are that we do not have easy access to libraries, books are expensive to purchase, we do not know what to read, our attention spans are short. Further, big books and long reads can be quite intimidating for many of us. So, we created the Storybox to help tackle these issues. We hope that Storybox will help build the reading habit among people. As we see it, Storybox is an innovative and easy to manage channel for reaching short, engaging content to readers. We believe that a little bit of undistracted, focused reading regularly will help us build the reading habit. What is Storybox? Storybox is a dispenser of short content. It is like an ATM of learning material. A Storybox allows you to instantly print content from a very carefully curated, high quality database. Content from Storybox enables 10 to 15 minutes of undistracted reading. By making short content easily accessible, we encourage hesitant readers to read more regularly. And at the same time, it allows interested readers to fit in a little bit of reading into their busy schedules. What value does Storybox bring to schools? In schools across the spectrum, a storybox attracts more children to reading. Students find the ease of access, the quick and surprise choice of reading, and the short content extremely appealing. Content from the storybox often leads to students exploring the authors or topics more deeply later. Teachers also greatly value Storybox's curated database. It helps them distribute a vast range of high quality reading content without having to specifically research or create content themselves. Reading activities provided by the Storybox team ensure that students not just print slips of paper but read and comprehend them. Interesting facts and curriculum aligned puzzles also contribute considerably to classroom discussions. The puzzles specially help with the revision of curriculum in an engaging manner. What is otherwise monotonous in textbooks becomes more interesting to students. Further, with a story box, we can print multiple copies of every piece of content. In a regular library, only one student can borrow a book at any time. With a story box, every piece of content can be printed multiple times, so it effectively works like a library with infinite capacity. How do story boxes work? Story boxes are very easy to set up and manage. They can be operated in places with very limited infrastructure as well. A story box requires just a stable power supply and internet connectivity a few times a month. That is to transfer fresh content onto the story box. How to use a story box? Story boxes are easy to use, quick to print, and have very low operating costs. Now, you see here a touch screen on the box which gives you the user interface. You choose the language of your choice. I choose English. Within that, I choose to print stories or poems, and I choose a poem today of the medium level of reading, and I get a printout of a poem of a medium level of reading. Story boxes print without any ink, so you do not need to refill or replace cartridges. Paper is the only consumable. The paper we use is also of a very high quality. It is non-toxic thermal paper which is safe to use. This paper is manufactured by companies that strictly follow reforestation protocols, and hence it is environmentally safe. Printing on paper has many advantages. Most importantly, a hard copy allows undistracted deep reading, unlike on screens. Research shows that comprehension and retention is higher when we read from paper as compared to reading from screens. Moreover, short slips of paper are easy to carry, allowing us to read at any place at any time. So, yes, we use technology, but we do not add further to your screen time. What content does a storybox have? Storyboxes can print in all Indian languages at the press of a button. Our current standard database is focused on English, Hindi, and Telugu. In its current standard form, a storybox prints short stories, poems, interesting facts, puzzles, beginners' worksheets, and also large books in small parts. In addition to the standard database, a storybox can be customized to print client-specific and location-specific content in all languages. We now have nearly 8,000 pieces of content on the storybox, and we regularly add fresh content remotely through the internet. Our database of content is very carefully curated and created by a specialized editorial team. Our team carefully selects the content, and the Storybox does not print anything that is randomly searched on the internet. We strictly adhere to all copyright and intellectual property requirements. Our content is either copyright free, has been created by us, or has been shared by the creators specifically for using on the Storybox. An introduction to the content. We currently have content in 3 languages, with English making the largest share. English content is categorized into stories and poems, read and part, interesting facts, and puzzles. Stories and poems. Short standalone stories and poems form this database. Anything is the combined database. Length of the short stories ranges from around 100 to 800 words in this section, with an average of around 400 words. Reading levels in Storybox broadly align to academic grade level in the following manner. Very easy is class 1 and 2 teacher guided, and class 3 independent reading. Easy is class 4 upwards, medium is class 7 upwards, high class 9 upwards, and then very high would be for grown-ups. Font sizes in the very easy segment are larger. Content includes images, and also there is a bit of space at the bottom for children to draw. In the stories and poems section, content is printed sequentially by the machine. So the reader is always pleasantly surprised. Everyone in the line gets to read a different piece of content from the one prior. This section is thus structured for individual reading. There is enormous potential here for teachers to structure creative group projects and also classroom discussions with this content. Read in parts. This section, on the other hand, is structured for combined reading. We have 3 submenus here, and through each of these, one piece of content is printed any number of times in a day. So a group of students can all work on the same content on any particular day. We usually enable two types of content in this section. One is stories, poems, and passages with reflective and exploratory questions at the end. Teachers can also add their questions here. So that makes comprehension passages. The second type is large books split up into everyday parts. This allows groups of users to read larger books together over a period of time. Schools thus do not have to stack up multiple copies of the books in their libraries, and students also, on the other hand, do not feel the burden of reading big books. They make steady progress, one page a day. We share with you a list of available books that can be read in parts. We can also enable books of your choice on your story boxes. Our editorial team will be happy to customize the content on this section for you. Interesting fact. While the previous sections mostly covered fiction, this section covers short, interesting factual information. The first subsection here is biographies, which has short notes about the lives of great people written in very simple language. Science and others, on the other hand, cover notes on factual information of an average length of about 400 words. These are largely written for high school level of reading and present interesting facts that go beyond what is usually covered in textbooks. This section thus becomes a vast encyclopedia at fingertips for the school. Interesting facts can be independent reading for older children and teacher guided activity for the younger students. Puzzles. The puzzle section, on the other hand, has fun puzzles that attracts a lot of interest from students and teachers. Content here is aligned largely with the curriculum. Kindergarten has worksheets that cover the English and Maths curriculum for LKG and UKG. These fun worksheets help children to revise their curriculum and also do a little bit of coloring. Number Puzzles has worksheets covering 1 to 4 maths curriculum in the very easy and easy segments. In a part of the easy segment and entirely in medium and high, we have a vast range of engaging generic maths mental ability puzzles. Mostly single person Japanese puzzles, these help a lot in sharpening arithmetic skills and quick thinking. Word search and crossword puzzles are English puzzles. While some of them include generic topics, a large part of them are individual lessons of class 1 to 10 science and social studies curriculum converted to puzzles. So while these puzzles are all fun for students, they help them revise their curriculum in a very engaging and interesting manner. Other languages. Story boxes can print in all Indian languages. We have started building the Hindi and Telugu databases. You can choose to take these languages, or alternatively, you could share with us content in your own local language for enabling on your story box. Content provided by you will remain confidential and will be for your use alone. Taking you through the Hindi and Telugu content, Prathmik Hindi or Prathamika Telugu section includes worksheets starting from the Aksharamala to 3-letter words with matras or gunintalu. The puzzle segment builds on the foundation of the beginner's content and creates greater familiarity with the script through word puzzles. The language word searches and crosswords are classified into 3 different levels. Customized content for a specific location or a group of story boxes. Now the above discussed segments form the standard content on a story box currently. We can however modify them to suit your specific requirements. For example, if you're a primary school, you can choose to not include the high and the very high level of content in your story box. Or say a school in Maharashtra can choose to not take the Telugu content on their boxes. We will be very happy to discuss any changes that you would like to make on your story box. Further, in addition to the standard database, we also have an option for short-term content. This section here can be fully customized for events. This allows for 4 subsections at this juncture. We usually enable special content for short periods across all our story boxes, such as, say, Children's Day, Teachers' Day, and Independence Day. Also, sometimes expert institutes share some of their special content for schools. For example, when the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology shared some extremely valuable content for the World Wildlife Week. You can also share content that you would like to distribute through the Storybox to your students. For example, coloring for Blue Color Day, a surprise maths test, or say a current affairs quiz. Many schools use this option for their own customized content on their story boxes. Many also use this space to provide information about their school and other aspects of their prospectus during the admission season. Parents are encouraged to use the story box directly during the admission process. We need to highlight here that the school logo is included on every printout from the story box. The school can also share any other contact information or special achievements in the space that is allocated for you on the printouts. How do schools use the Storybox? Immediately after installation, we conduct a teacher training session. Here we take the teachers through all the features of the Storybox in detail so that they are confident about using the Storybox effectively. Now, after that, every school uses the Storybox in a manner that works for them. In some schools, it is placed in the library and it helps in attracting children to reading books. In some other schools, Storybox is a library in itself. In some schools, students have free access to the Storybox at all times of the day, whereas in some other schools, there is a strict schedule and children have specific time slots for using the Storybox. Many schools ask children to maintain scrapbooks to paste the content that they have taken from the Storybox and also the activities that they have done using this content. We suggest that the schools provide a little bit of structure and a little bit of freedom in the way children use the Storybox. Say, for example, insist on the children reading a story and doing an activity based on it, but then after that, give a puzzle as a reward for the work done. That makes it attractive as also productive. Analysis of the usage of the content. We provide a monthly usage analysis of the Storybox at every location. This allows schools to evaluate their usage patterns and also structure their reading programs suitably. If required, we can provide more frequent usage updates as well. Usage of the story boxes so far. We have set up story boxes in a wide range of places, mostly in Hyderabad so far. These include many large established schools like the Hyderabad Public School, Chirek International, and the Sri Ram University. Also, large chains of schools like the Gautam Model Schools. Many low-budget schools and also the Telangana State Social Welfare Schools. Story boxes have been set up in non-school locations as well, like the Telangana Secretariat, the State Agriculture University, and the Ramakrishna Mutt. So far, well over 4 lakh pieces of content have been printed from all these story boxes together. These have been used by readers of all age groups. We have set up customized story boxes at a range of events such as the Hyderabad Literary Festival, India Science Festival, book discussions, and a lot of other events. As we close the video, I'd like to quickly take you through the key features of the Storybox again. Storybox is an instant library of short learning content. Storybox prints across genre and reading levels. The content is suitable for all age groups, from pre-primary students to grown-ups. Storyboxes can print content in all Indian and world languages. A storybox does not add to your screen time. It gives easy to carry physical printouts. Storybox is extremely easy to use. It prints on low cost, phenol free, non toxic thermal paper. The print lasts for a very long time and there is no need to refill ink or to replace cartridges. Storybox works offline. Internet is required only for updates. Thank you so much for your time. Please reach out to us at any time at these coordinates for a discussion or to schedule a demo.